I felt that my dad
Yeah.
was very, conservative in those
And the
in
fact,
those
like,
sense.
you got to protect your family.
But now, conservative or whether you're liberal, like I feel like that Republicans are liberals about guns.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Right?
are.
They're
Even
very,
that's point
they're
three.
very
that's
liberal
very
about
true.
guns.
Liberal about guns.
Liberal
Yeah.
about a lot of
And
things.
Democrats are more conservative
Is
about
that a
guns.
word game?
I don't know.
Well, what happened was that in
It
the
might be.
beginning, the word liberal really came from liberty.
Okay.
Liberal really means
We're
people
gonna get
that
into, like,
believe
the-
in liberty.
Are we going to talk about like the Latin of where liberty came from?
Well, no, but just think about it. Liberal has this bad connotation. Like in other words, you're liberal. Like you.
You freaking snowflake.
Yeah, you're
Snowflake.
liberal
All that
with your
bullshit.
kids. You let them do what they want.
Yeah, right.
You're excessive
And
in
it's a
everything
bad
that you
thing.
do.
Yeah.
And so what they did is they took the word liberal, which really came from the word liberty, and they transposed it to the word liberal in the negative sense.
Yeah.
Like
the meaning flipped.
well, like in other words, when they say to put on.
Like, was that taught? Was that a bad? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
So
these
liberal
lessons
means
at sea are
excessive.
just-
So liberal means excessive. Like if I tell you to put on cream liberally, it means to put a lot of cream on.
Right. Right.
But if I say to put
Do a
on,
lot.
if I say to put on cream conservatively,
Conservatively.
you put on a little bit.
Right. Right.
So
And
what
they're
they
talking
did.
about the government, like the conservatives, like you got to be conservative with the government.
Well, conservatives have always been the more negative influence in society because they
But
were.
didn't they end slavery? The Republicans actually ended slavery.
Yes. Right.
That's a good
But
thing.
the Republican Party in the beginning was the liberal party. But they believed in liberty.
Yeah. Right.
So that's why it was the Republicans who believed in women's suffrage,
Yeah.
and they believed in freeing, black people, and they believed in the laissez-faire and the progressive and but back then, like the conservatives were the
different.
stuffy people.
Right.
And so the liberal people wanted a chance for everybody to get rich.
Right.
So capitalism really originated from liberals, who in the true sense of the word of liberty. So capitalism was something. I mean, the initial goal of capitalism was so that everybody could be free. In other words, it's like as opposed to communism, we're seeing communism. The state owns everything, and so
Right.
you've got this extreme government where you're not allowed to own anything.
Right.
I mean, if you ever get
But then
into
there's greedy people, and that's what happens. Like,
Well-
I've always heard that the communism is good in theory, but whenever you
Doesn't
get the
pick-
greedy people,
Yeah.
yeah, it's good in theory, but there's still.
It's never gonna.
well,
never
it
gonna
opened
work.
it opened itself too much in corruption. I mean, there are natural forms of communism. Really, is like if you're out in the old west and all of a sudden, like you were all together. Let's say just you're all there and you're pioneers and you're all there and you're all together and all of a sudden your neighbor and your neighbor and you like your neighbor and his house burns down, the whole neighborhood goes and helps
It helps. them
and
out.
helps build his house back up
Right,
again.
right.
The same like with the Amish.
The Amish. Yeah, I was.
They're like natural communists,
Yeah.
but